No, 100%. This is the thing that like the upperclassmen in your homeroom is like, all right, kids, so here's the thing. The basketball guys are all a bunch of assholes. But here's the catch. In 6 months, we're going to see some of their balls, and it's going to be great. Welcome to Mortified, the Friendship Quest, a podcast where two long-distance friends bounce media recommendations, all in hopes the other will like it. I'm Aaron.
And I'm the podcast that Leyla co-hosts.
God damn it. It took me a second. And this week, we kick off summer with an anime sports sampler! Before we accidentally become the best cyclists in high school, remember you can help us on Mortify the Legitimacy Quest by subscribing to us on YouTube, iTunes, or Spotify, signing up for a monthly newsletter through the link in our show notes, or following us on Twitter and Tumblr at MortifiedPod. Leyla.
Avatar Watch. Avatar Watch.
Oh no! It can't be! It's been so soon!
I will fly with you.
Hi, welcome everybody to welcome to Avatar Watch, our segment within our podcast where we talk about James Cameron's Avatar, namely Way of the Water, which is an impending threat looming over us.
Yeah, it is impending and it is a threat.
So let's talk about what we found out this week, which is that Sigourney Weaver, who died in the original 2009 James Cameron Avatar, she died. Sigourney Weaver, who is a woman of some age, is coming back aboard the Avatar franchise to play Neytiri and Jake Sully's teenage daughter, Kiri.
Teen daughter! I mean, like, listen, I love Sigourney Weaver. I think she's a remarkable actress.
Remarkable.
This is a choice.
This is a choice. And she basically, in an interview, she said, well, I still remember what it's like to feel awkward and out of place, so I'm just grateful to James Cameron for giving me the opportunity to explore this side of my acting.
How old do you think Sigourney Weaver is?
She's in her 60s, 70s. Early 70s, 73.
She is 72 years old.
Oh! Look at me with the guessing.
Listen, we love that for Miss Weaver. We love that she does get to explore her, the times when she's felt uncomfortable. It is a choice to make her play a biracial alien teen.
Yes, named Kiri. And I saw some speculation online that because she has eyebrows like all the human-made Na'vi do, she's like some sort of, I don't know, human-made. She's their adoptive daughter. I think that's very important to mention.
Oh, so she's not genetically related to.
She's not fake Na'vi plus real Na'vi hybrid.
Ah, damn it. All right. There's got to be one of them in there. I can't. The speculation is going to kill me until we get the weird reveal in 2 months that's like, okay, so Jake is sterile. Straight up.
Oh my god. This movie's literally, and the worst part was I saw this, Jenny Nicholson retweeted this, and all she tweeted was, she what? And I was like, what? And I clicked into it, and it was that article, and then Aaron didn't respond to me for 30 minutes. I lost my mind.
Oh my god. Yeah, no. Anyway, Avatar, Way of Water, coming this December. We are going to find a way to watch that somehow, and you all will never stop hearing about it ever again. It is embedded in the DNA of Mortified.
We are going to be, the hinges will be fully off. You think we've been unhinged before? No. I'm not going into that theater experience sober.
Oh god, no.
There's no way.
That's a 2-shot minimum. You must be this drunk to watch.
We're Ubering into that venue.
It's gonna be something. The logistics of that are gonna be hard because I also have a tiny bladder, but we'll figure that out in December.
We'll get you a diaper. It's fine. You were asking me a question before I played my very good custom sound file that I made.
Leyla, we're not usually sports people. How come we're here today?
Because we realized it's been a while since we've done a sampler, and you and I both have a soft spot for Haikyuu, and we also found some other let's face it, incredible programs, and decided to watch them today.
We found 2 incredible programs and 1 program that was a little disappointing, but we will talk about it.
A father of the incredible programs.
Yes, definitely a precursor. And I think we'll start that. Do we want to trade off? I'll do first. I'll do the first 2 because I want to give you Yowamushi Pedal.
Oh, I mean, sure. I don't know how much I have to say about Yowamushi Pedal beyond what you have written here, but yeah, let's go.
Okay. I mean, we'll find our cadence as we we'll find our cadence
cadence as we go uphill.
All right. First, we watched Captain Tsubasa, which is a long-running soccer anime. Actually, got its start, and I want to say 1981 or 1982. But we watched. We couldn't find those episodes, so I just found the ones that were on YouTube. This is also notably not the 2018 reboot. This was from 2001. We bought the 4-3, the Square anime, which I haven't seen in a long time. But yeah, basically it's about how the titular character Tsubasa was in elementary school, and he was really good at soccer in elementary school. And he meets a sad Brazilian man who has an alcohol problem. And that's about it. We only watched 3 episodes.
An alcohol problem and a very mild eye injury.
Yeah. I mean, like, basically he just needs, he needs that, ocular pressure decreased a little bit. He'll be fine. He'll truly be fine. Second, we watched Kuroko's Basketball, or, as Leyla alluded to in the opening, if you translate it literally from Japanese, it is the basketball which Kuroko plays.
Incredible. It's like big red text in the opening title of every episode. It's amazing. What a tone.
It kicks ass. Here's where things start getting off the rails. So yeah, this is about basketball, I guess. We meet Kuroko, the protagonist. And he's he's a high school freshman, and he's, pretty good at basketball because he trained, in middle school with this generation of miracles, 5 other really, really talented middle school players who are just, unfathomably good at basketball. So Kuroko, they all have special nicknames. Kuroko's nickname is the Phantom because nobody can see him, and is he dead? Leyla, is Kuroko dead?
I don't know.
Is this what's that Bruce Willis movie? A Fifth Element?
Yeah, the 6th Phantom member of the Generation of Miracles. I don't know. I can't tell.
We see dead people, specifically dead people which play basketball.
It's so literally nobody sees him. He just appears places. And the only thing that's convincing me is that he is actually alive is the way his ex-boyfriend talks about him, which we'll get to.
Yeah, we'll get to that, of course. Do you want to talk about Yowamushi Pedal?
Yowamushi Pedal is about an angel sent from heaven who is an otaku who bikes 90 kilometers every week to go to, like, an anime marketplace, basically, and play gachapon and get little toys. And what he forgot, he knew, what he forgot was that his seat was not adjusted correctly, and his mom gave him a smaller bike gear so that he'd stop biking so fucking far and just take the train, but he wanted to save the train fare for the gachapon. Mm-hmm. So he got super buff on complete accident, and now is just, like, really good at biking. Had no idea. And it's about him and a rich, stuck-up biker who wants to go pro, and how they become friends and presumably will join the biking club in episode 4.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to get your temperature, because for me, this was the order from, least to most enjoyed.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about, our characters real quick. There are a lot of characters to get through. We're only going to name kind of the most important ones. Real quick, in Captain Tsubasa, there's Tsubasa. He's, like a 10-year-old. What did you say about him, Leyla?
Oh, he's like a 10-year-old little soccer god. He's just nice and good at soccer. That's it. That's all there is to him.
Yes, that's his whole character. He has a friend. His name is Ishizaki. And he's not as good as Tsubasa, but that's okay.
But he has the drive to win.
Okay, yeah. He
Tsubasa
has the...
just wants to play.
His friend is the ball. And Ishizaki's friend is winning, which is fine. We also have Roberto, who is Tsubasa's dad's friend.
Not even. Tsubasa's dad is the captain of a cruise ship and ran into Roberto, who is a professional Brazilian soccer player, and he's like, hey, you're going to Japan? Go stay with my wife and son, man I just met.
I think Tsubasa's neglected child. I think his dad sucks ass.
Yeah, man, that man him and his mustache just disappear. Anyway, he's an alcoholic and has a mild eye injury, and I could stand to know less about him.
The entire second episode of the 3 episodes we watched was just about Roberto, and I was like, we don't need to know this much about this man. He's just a coach. And then there's, of course, Wakabayashi, who is, I would say 17 years old, playing against these 4th graders.
Oh, he's huge.
He looks like he's about to start like on the college soccer team, and they're all like, "Oh, Wakabayashi, he's the best keeper in all of the elementary league." And
yeah, because he's too big for the fucking goal.
He hit puberty already. Yeah. Anyway, he's fine. He's a completely fine villain.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's talk about Kuroko's basketball. Here we get into the character, the characters with most character, I would say. I think Kuroko is maybe my favorite out of all of the characters we've seen today because of the way he's implemented. It is very different from a standard anime protagonist.
I have never seen a sports anime protagonist be implemented as the side character.
That's exactly it, right? Because, like, Kuroko, right, we talked about it. His whole thing is that he is so shitty and bad at basketball that nobody notices he's there, and so he can sneak up on you. That's why they call him the Phantom.
He's really good at passing. That's his whole... He only passes.
His special talent is passing really good.
Passing really good and being really quiet.
Tsubasa is doing full bicycle kicks by episode 2. Kuroko's just like, whew, go get him, Kagami.
Kuroko, I think my favorite move that he does is he, like, takes a shot and purposefully misses it so that Kagami can, like, pick it up and dunk it. Incroyable.
Yeah, no, his special ability is assist.
If we compare him to our good boy from Haikyuu, right? Because he's so good at volleyball. He tries so hard and works so hard at volleyball. He's so good. Everyone's like, wow, damn, that shorty's really good. He can really fly. It is the complete opposite reaction from every character about Kuroko, because everyone's like, wow, he's really fucking terrible at basketball, actually. Yes. I'm shocked we're winning because of him.
Yeah, we'll talk about the coach, but the coach is like, wow, this kid's already peaked and his stats are terrible. But yeah, incredible. But like, he is 100% a side character. He is implemented in a way that like he's always the straight man to Kagami, who is the big, athletic American, who is reacting to him. Like, it's always Kagami who is coming into the shot, and then Kuroko just appearing there, and Kagami being like, what the fuck, dude? You gotta make more noise.
Right, and the big change in episode 3... The big change in episode 3 is Kagami dragging Kuroko into the shot.
He's like, get over here, idiot. Yeah, it could really, truly be a Sixth Sense thing where he is just dead the whole time, and he's just been Kagami's special friend.
I would believe it. Honestly, like, the whole first episode and a half, it's completely dubious as to whether this child is a ghost or not.
It's so funny. It really, because, like, when he signs up for the team, Coach Ida's like, I didn't know that somebody, I would have thought that one of the, members of the Generation of Miracles, I would have talked to them, but his signature just appeared. The lights started flickering. I don't understand.
And then he's, all the other 5 members got interviewed for a basketball magazine, and all the teammates are like flipping through it. They're like, where's Kuroko's interview? And they're like, oh, Kuroko, they didn't interview you? He's like, no, they did. They just forgot to put it in.
They did. He's like the most wet cat of a man. He's great. I love him. He's my favorite protagonist out of all of these. He rules.
Absolutely. The opposite of wet dog, however, is our buddy Kagami.
Mm-hmm. Literally Taiga. Taiga Kagami.
Yep, literally a tiger.
You can tell he's from America because And sometimes in the English dub, his voice actor sounds like Joey Wheeler.
Hey, you!
Hey, Kuroko! You trying to play... Okay. When he is... This is where I show Leyla my thing, and you're going to have to edit this in post, Leyla.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
But I'm going to show you my favorite thing that he says when Kuroko is challenging him to a game of the good old basketball.
Shit. That kid still has me on edge. Steal? So high. Nothing can stop Kagami now. You douche.
That delivery of "you douche" is the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
Which is funny because all the best deliveries are actually Kuroko's, so the fact that Kagami gets one excellent delivery is really everything to me.
Yeah, but I mean, that's his whole thing. He's angry, he only cares about winning, and he's, like, superbly athletic. He's, like, a foot taller than all the other high schoolers. And he's really good at dunking basketballs because he studied in America.
And he dunks so hard he breaks the basket.
Yes, as all Americans do.
Yes.
He's great. I love him. Completely fine for the side character who is actually the protagonist. What do you think about Coach Ida?
She has Shinigami eyes, but for jocks.
I saw that note and I was like, holy shit, Layla's right. Do you want to explain what that means?
She literally looks at them and sees data. Like, it's insane.
Her whole thing is that her dad was a personal trainer, so she spent a lot of time analyzing people, and they literally, like, give them, like, stats and numbers, and, like, there's, like, point values that come up whenever she sees teens nude upper torsos. It's fucking wild. She also likes to haze her boys by making them out in the day of the school assembly shout from the top of the school building what their goal is for this basketball season, and if they don't get their goal, they have to return naked and confess their feelings to the girl that they love.
I think of all the scenes we watched today, that was probably, like, top 3 for me. It wasn't my favorite scene we'll get to it was in Yowamushi Pedal. It was the fucking challenge scene. But I just, like, can you imagine sitting in morning assembly and you're just, like, vibing with your friends, and then all of a sudden once a year the basketball club just starts announcing themselves from the rooftop, trying to shout their goals as fast as they can before a teacher gets up there. And under threat of, you have to get back up here and show everyone your dick if you fail, I would be running a fucking underground gambling ring in high school. I would be like, okay, over under, how many dicks are we seeing at the end of the year?
No, 100%, this is the thing that, like, the upperclassmen in your homeroom is like, all right, kids, so here's the thing. The basketball guys are all a bunch of assholes. But here's the catch. In 6 months, we're going to see some of their balls, and it's going to be great.
And here's the other catch. For all the balls we don't see, that's how much winning we did.
Mm-hmm. So, great. Good. I love that. I think Kuroko... We get 2 really good depictions of high school in these 2 animes, and I just want to live at the high schools that both of these people are at, where it's just like, oh, the fucking basketball team, or like, man, the cycling kids are nice, but they're also fucking insane.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. I can't wait to meet more of the cycling kids. They're fucking crazy.
Yeah. Who is Ryota?
Kise, the model.
Oh, yeah, the boyfriend. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a model, but he also plays basketball. And, okay, This is the only point I'll dock from Kuroko's basketball, which is if he's that hot, I think the boys should also be distracted by him. That should be his superpower. Instead, he's some sort of basketball Kirby. If he sees you do something once, he eats your powers.
My note was Howl Uchiha. Because he looks a little bit like Howl with the blonde hair, and he just does the Sharingan thing where he copies your ability. And I was like, that's what this guy does. All right.
He does just have the Sharingan. That's a much better metaphor. But it's like... So he has the Sharingan, and then, like, he walks up to, when he sees Kuroko, he's like, Kuroko! What does he say? He's like,
He was like, oh, me and Kuroko, we were always picked on by the other members of the team. I'm actually the worst out of all of them. And Kuroko's just like, nobody ever picked on me.
And then he was, before that, he was just like, yeah, me and Kuroko, we were the best of friends. And Kuroko's like, not more than anybody else.
Nope. Kuroko completely deadpan, like, we ain't tight.
And
I don't
Ryo's
know
like,
you.
obsessed with. It's very good. It's excellent, even.
So funny.
Because he gets so butthurt, like very personally butthurt over the fact that Kuroko's like, I'm not coming with you to your expensive school. Like, I'm staying here because my new boyfriend said we have to kick ass.
Because his new boyfriend understands how teams work, and nobody else in the Generation of Miracles. Yeah, I mean, listen, he's a work in progress. Kuroko can fix him. But I'm sure that happens later on in the season. I noticed on Netflix there's actually a 90-minute Kuroko's basketball movie. So we were talking about watching the Bleach movie earlier in DMs. Maybe that's another thing we could consider.
Oh my god, I would do a bonus episode for the Kuroko's basketball movie.
Yeah, listen, Mortified Patreon. Tell your friends if we could start getting numbers to justify a Patreon, we will do this. But yeah, I mean, I think that's it for Kuroko's. Yowamushi Pedal. This is, this one was the most surprising to me. This one, I was really pleasantly surprised by how fun this one was. Let's talk about Onoda. He's a weeb, and he's accidentally great at bicycling. It's like if your mom made you wear leg weights for 10 years and you never realized it.
You know what he is?
Just like, what?
He's Rock Lee.
Yeah, I mean, 100% right.
On accident.
Yeah, like completely unintentional. Where Rock Lee's like, I know I'm weak, so I have to work really hard. And Oda's like, I just want to watch anime, and oh no, all these athletic cyclists want me to join their team. Oh fuck. Oh shit.
It's literally like Rock Lee's leg weights, like he knows they're there. This will be the equivalent of Mike Guy putting the leg weights on Rock Lee at birth and not, in 4th grade specifically, and not telling him, and then Rock Lee being like, walking's harder, weird, and just continuing to walk.
I gotta go to the anime store. I gotta buy more little minifigs. I love Onoda. He's great. I mean, I think he is very much a shonen protagonist in that, like, he's just like, I gotta believe in myself. I gotta try really hard. We see his evolution. We see him getting better incrementally, even in the first 3 episodes. But his whole motivation is that he wants to start the anime club. And I do kind of like a protagonist who like stumbles into greatness on accident as opposed to like just always being great. We'll talk about, the differences between Tsubasa versus the other two. But I think this is definitely one of them where Tsubasa is just born great, or Onoda's being accidentally good at biking is very funny.
So my manager introduced this like very interesting concept to me, which is she has like basically like a dream skill set. Like you pick an archetype and you just do all those skills. I don't know if she wants me to share what hers is, but mine is I want to be an adventure archaeologist. That's my kind of A class. So you pick all of the requisite skills that you should have as an adventure archaeologist. I feel like my B class has always been Broadway performer. Like I don't actually want to perform on Broadway. I want to be able to. I want to take voice lessons. I want to, be able to dance a little bit like better, like get all my box steps in, whatever. The other thing that I really want to learn how to do is to be able to sing while I'm running. That is a very difficult skill because singing is all breath control and running is all breath and core control. This stupid dipshit idiot sings at full volume going up a hill.
What's the song he sings like Hime, Hime, Hime? He's basically talking about, he's singing a song from like,
he's singing an anime opening from an anime within the anime called Love Hime.
Yeah, it's about a princess who can get very big.
Yeah, I want to know more about that, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure. God, that's the thing. Of these 3 that I would like consider watching to the end, like Yowamushi Pedal is very intriguing to me. Like really, really interested to see the lore of this world. Because Onoda's great. What about his counterpart Imaizumi?
Stupid as hell. I love him.
He's a rich asshole who, has been training forever to be Lance Armstrong, and he gets obsessed with this fucking dweeb who's like, I hit that man with my car, and he's continuing to pedal up the big hill to school. How did he do this? That's impossible.
Right, because he beats him, like, going up a hill at one point, like, completely on accident, right? He has to, like, go back to school to get his wallet and then ended up ahead of, like, the professional cyclist. And he's like, therein lies my favorite scene where Imaizumi corners Onoda and he's like, hey, I want to challenge you to a race. And Onoda's stupid, so he's like, what kind of race? And the thing that Imaizumi does that is so smart, he's like, if I lose, I haven't joined the cycling club yet, so I'll join your anime club. And Onoda's like, yes, this is how I do it. This is how I bring back the anime club. And he's like, what's your favorite anime? And Imaizumi basically, he has to think about it. And he's basically like,
oh, fuck, what's anime? Shit. Pokemon? That's anime, right?
And Onoda loses his mind. He's like, isn't it great? You can really see the author's point of view and their hope for the world.
And Imaizumi's just like, this fucking guy. I can't believe I'm obsessed with this kid.
My angle. I would go to war for him.
He rules. I love Onoda. Imaizumi's great. Like we and he, if we're gonna do the Haikyuu comparison, he is what's his name?
I was gonna call him Kuwabara. It is not Kuwabara.
It's not. It's Hinata's boyfriend.
Not Kurama. Starts with a K though. I keep on blanking on my favorite boy.
Karasuno, that's the name of the team. Haikyuu.
I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you.
Now with my high-speed internet connection.
Where is he?
Kageyama!
Kageyama, fuck!
There we go.
Couldn't find him. Yeah, he is Kageyama, but Kageyama has no social skills. That's not quite the case here.
Yeah, Imaizumi is, like kind of rude, but he can pull. He specifically, we could see how much he can pull when he talks to Miki's friend, who is just like, oh, Imaizumi's so hot. But Miki, who is Imaizumi's childhood friend and Onoda's crush, I think she's also a very good supporting character.
Oh, perfect notes.
Yeah, I mean, like, she's just like, yeah, my dad works at a bike shop, so I could tell Onoda how to do the bicycling good, because he does fucking nothing about it. He's riding a mommy bike and has not raised his seat in 4 years.
Yeah, right. Probably longer than that, right? Fourth. I don't know what grade.
4th to 10th grade, so 6 years. Yeah.
Yeah, she's really funny because she like observes him for a while first before she actually fixes the seat. So like, if Ida is just chaotic neutral, which let's face it, she is, then Miki is I would say neutral good. She gets a lot of data and then she does the right thing, but she wants her data first.
That's right. I really like them. I think they're an endearing bunch of characters, and at the very end we get introduced to a whole host of like upperclassmen with all different shapes and sizes.
The character design in this show.
I think all the upperclassmen all have like different specialties too. Like one of them's like really good at like climbing hills, and the other one's like really good at sprints. And it's like, yes, that's what sports anime is all about, baby.
And the sickest nicknames I've ever heard in my life. One is like the snake of the mountaintop. The other one's like the human bullet. I was like, fuck yeah, that rules.
I wish people called me the human bullet in high school.
Mr. Trackstar over here.
I did have a nickname in high school, and it was Jihad because of the way that, one, I was a brown person at a Catholic high school, and because during dodgeball, I would throw myself at the very good dodgeball players and let them obliterate me, but also ideally kill them with a very close-range dodgeball strike. Anyway, I went to high school in the early 2010s, as you can tell.
Wow. All right, let's do some ranking.
Anyway.
Let's do some ranking, shall we? What would your ranking be of the... I think a good sports anime needs a really solid opening theme. What is your ranking of the opening themes of these programs?
I only watched all of them once because I skipped them. But I feel like what's the basketball one? Kuroko. I feel like Kuroko's was the best. Followed by Yowamushi and then Tsubasa.
I agree with you on that ranking. Yeah, I don't remember the ending themes.
Me either.
how do we rank another very important facet of sports anime is explaining something that is very simple with the most amount of drama and tension possible. So how do we feel about the sports position?
This one is Yoshimushi 100%. No question they have the most, because specifically with Miki, right? Like Miki is talking about the ways in which you can you do, what is the thing when they stand up? Dancing. Right? She talks about dancing. And then they talk about, what's his name? Imaizumi is like, okay, so if you're getting this many rotations per minute and you're going down this hill, what if I give you this cycle computer that helps you talk about, the ways in which your gear shifts will help you improve your rotations per minute? Like, it's the most technical bullshit. Like, this is a thing that I liked about Haikyuu, which is where they were teaching you about how volleyball works, but this one is about cycling. And even Onoda's like, it's like being in a mech suit when he gets all his numbers. Just like, you big stupid idiot. I love you. And then Kuroko's follows that, because I really don't think in the first 3 episodes we get too much technical stuff. I guess we learn what a fucking overhead kick is in Tsubasa, but the fact that it's being done by a 10-year-old kind of undercuts everything for me.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's like a real legal move. And they don't, because like if you were to remake Tsubasa today and you were like trying to explain the overhead, it would be slow-mo, black background, and it would be Tsubasa like really zoned in, and he would be like, oh my god, he's throwing all his weight backwards, and he's going to rotate all the way through, and he's going to force his left thigh up through the rotation so he can bring his right foot up and kick. Mm-hmm. It would be like that, it
has to be
insane.
Meticulous and detailed and a big thing, and I think that Yowamushi does that the best out of any of them.
Absolutely. Next up, melodrama. I do think Yowamushi Pedal is absolutely the most melodramatic. These things go hand in hand with the sports position. Absolutely.
I disagree. I think Kuroko's is a little more melodramatic. And maybe because it's also making fun of itself in the way that like it always is undercutting the melodrama, with Kuroko just being deadpanning. But like there is a lot of sincerity, right? At the very end when Kuroko doesn't get to announce his... Hold on. One thing about the thing where the kids all stand at the top of the thing and announce their goals, there's one team member who tells the school his entire life story for like 10 minutes. He's just like, when I was in kindergarten, I never thought I would be good in school. But then in the first grade, I played with my little league team, and like it goes on, and like everybody's just kind of like, oh my god, he's still talking. We have like 8 more people to go. And eventually the coach just like kicks him in the dick, and she's like, all right, next. But like, yeah, at the end, Kuroko writes his name out, or his goal out on the pavement or whatever. And like the seriousness in which Ryota is like, I cannot believe you spurned me in this way. Now I'm really gonna get into it. I think Kuroko is a little bit more melodramatic. I think Yowamushi undercuts the melodrama. I think the melodrama exists, but it's only Imaizumi.
I don't know. I feel like Onoda gets into it a little bit because he gets a taste of winning. I feel like that bike race is pretty dramatic.
That's true, because at the end, he's like, when he slightly pulls ahead of Imaizumi, he's like, I just wanted to have friends. I don't have any friends. I want to join the anime team or the anime club. That's fair.
Yeah, I think, you know what it would take for Kuroko's basketball to overtake Yowamushi Pedal in the melodrama for me? Mm-hmm. We find out Kuroko's dead.
I mean, that's gotta... we gotta watch that movie. We gotta watch that Netflix movie to see if he is in fact dead. And like, they just like, he still plays basketball, but he very much is a ghost.
Like, we're not being facetious. It is genuinely hard to tell.
People react to him, but only like afterwards.
So we kind of did this a little bit, but ranking our favorite protagonists, this is hard. I do have to say Onoda, Tsubasa's always last, but it's Onoda, Kuroko, Tsubasa for me, but only because Onoda's my son and I love him.
Yeah, I mean, I like Kuroko a little more than Onoda just because Kuroko is so different than any anime protagonist that I've seen before. I suspect that will change if I watched both of them like through their continuity, because I do think that, you know, for an anime like this to maintain its momentum, you can't just get Kuroko being the deadpan joke guy. Eventually we will start getting to his interiority. We will start getting, you know, his motivations, and like he will be more anime protagonist-y eventually, and that's fine. But like for the first 3 episodes, I really like Kuroko.
Oh, he's a fucking riot. And now here's one. How do we feel about the secondary characters? Well, they should be our straight men, but not in the case of Kuroko, right?
No, he's a bisexual king, Taiga. You know, I don't like Taiga or what's his name, Kagami as much. Just because he's like kind of a douchebag. He's like rude and loud, and I don't like that. Imaizumi is a little bit. The fact that Onoda gets under his skin so much really endears him to me. Because, like, of course, Kuroko gets under Kagami's skin, but, like, I feel like Imaizumi should be Imaizumi should not be affected by Onoda in the same way. Just because Onoda's such a fucking little dweeb. Whereas Kagami is like, okay, Kuroko was on the Generation of Miracles, you know, that means something to me. I think Iwaizumi is so much more obsessed with Onoda, and that makes me like him more, because it's just like, man, you gotta let this go.
I want Kagami to go the Bandit Keith route. I want him to get so incredibly American. But yeah, like... Imaizumi is just such a dork. He's just a dork-ass dweeb, right? He's not like, oh my god, I'm blanking on his name again.
Kageyama?
He's not like Kageyama. Too many K names today. He's not like Kageyama, where Kageyama is like, win, no matter what. No matter what, you win. Fuck the team. I'm the king of the court, you know, whatever. This is a solo sport, for the most part, unless you're doing like a relay. And Imaizumi is genuinely, like, on a scientific level, bothered by this kid. And I think that's very funny. So yeah, I think it's the same for me. God, I wish, you know what, Ishizaki and Tsubasa have, like, it is, my theory about Tsubasa is that it's a show that was just on for a long time. After you came home from school, you would come home, you would make your snack, Tsubasa was on in the background, and it was just kind of noise until something hooked you in, and all of a sudden you cared, right? And, like, watching that when you're just seeking it out and you're putting it as part of a sampler, like, it doesn't give you the same experience. Like, we don't have it droning in the background when we go home from school. That being said, I like Ishizaki because he is obsessed with winning, and I think that's very funny. Because he basically just wants to kick that 17-year-old's ass.
Listen, when you're a little kid, there's always like some teen who is rude to you, and you're like, I'm gonna fucking murder that man.
Yeah, I find that completely compelling and respectable. So shouts to him, even though he, again, Tsubasa really just ranking. It's not a bad show. It's just not what we were looking for.
Yeah.
Aaron, what makes a compelling sports anime?
I mean, I think we kind of talked about all of this, like, leading up to this, right? I think it's got to be something where you do get that level of, like, protagonist is bought in and is trying to, you know, achieve a sports goal. But, like, I think the thing that makes Tsubasa a little bit less compelling is that he's already kind of instantly good. Right, Onoda is great because, like, he's got raw talent, but he's not refined yet. He doesn't know the techniques, and so he acts as a good character for the audience to learn more about the world of cycling. And, like, you know, similarly, like, Kuroko, I don't know if that's just because the way that he plays is so the opposite of opaque, transparent, in that nobody can see him do it, like, they have to explain stuff. But yeah, no, I do think that, you know, I think you have to have a character who is, like, has room for improvement. I guess that's why Kagami is the person who is really the main character of Kuroko, because, like, he's the guy who can be trained and molded into a perfect basketball machine, and Kuroko is going to kind of guide him through that. But yeah, I feel like you got to have a good main character. I think you got to have sports position. I think you got to have, like, a lot of technical, you know, obsessing over detail, talking about techniques, you know, talking about the ways in which somebody employs a technique that you're just like, oh, I just can't beat him. Like, date Tex Iron Wall from Haikyuu, that always gets me because it's like, okay, that's a thing. It's incredible blocking, and they give it a stupid anime name, and it's like, yeah, okay, great, I'm hooked. It's the same thing as having a special attack, it's Kamehameha, except with blocking volleyballs. And yeah, I mean, I think it's just got to be earnest. And I think all of these are pretty earnest.
Yeah, the sports position thing is so important because you're trying to teach a bunch of weebs about sports as at the rules of sport plus sports strategy plus why you should care and how it impacts the story. So it's a lot of heavy lifting that those segments have to do, and like Haikyuu truly, I think Yowamushi Pedal's like rivals it almost in terms of like melodrama, and it's helped by having that cyclocomputer. But damn, Haikyuu is just so compelling and so good at it. I would like to add that in order to make all of these things effective, you need to generate just like the most insane point of view character you could possibly get. Like they have to be involved. I think part of the reason why like Tsubasa didn't work is because like even the little bit of explaining that they do about soccer, it's just like the character's just not really that invested. And Kuroko's basketball, we just haven't gotten granular enough from the point of view of like a Kuroko, right? Like we need someone crazy explaining this shit to us. I think it's a pretty solid list of like what makes it work. Yeah, I love sports anime. I honestly didn't think I would, but I do. I really do. I think it's a fantastic genre, and everyone should pick a sport that they think looks cool and just get into the anime that relates to it.
100%. Which one of these would you consider watching? Maybe not even just for Mortified, but just like for fun.
I think Kuroko's basketball and Yowamushi Pedal I'm like intending on watching.
Yeah, I think they're both like very fun, and like from the first 3 episodes, it's like there's something happening here. These characters are interesting enough that like I would watch, at least another, the first season, another 20 episodes just to see what's going on with these little weirdos.
Yeah, because they are weird. They're just little weirdos.
You gotta have a little freak.
Right, like Haikyuu. They're kind of little freaks, right? Like the main 2 are freaks, but everyone else is more or less normal. Yowamushi Pedal, I don't know what the fuck is up with those upperclassmen, but they are capital F freaks.
Those are perverts. I would say that that's the thing. Like, I think at least one of the upperclassmen in Haikyuu, Tanaka, the guy who takes his shirt off, he's a little freak too.
He is a little freak.
In a different way. I think in Kuroko's basketball, we didn't get too much of the other team members. It's basically just Kuroko and Kagami. But Ida's a pervert. We love her. Like, you got to have enough people that are just like weird and, like you said, obsessive about the sport. And then also have enough, something that hooks you as far as their characterization. And like, we got a lot of weird perverts, and you know how much we love weird perverts.
Right. And it's like, listen, don't get us mixed up. Don't get us mixed up. It's not weird pervert like somebody who makes someone else uncomfortable. It's just a obviously. Perverse, like, just a sinful delight in whatever the fuck they're obsessed with. That's what I want. I want a bunch of little freaks.
Too much, you're a pervert.
You are. Like, we're Kingdom Hearts perverts. It's fine.
Yes, I would say that's true. We're not Kingdom Hearts freaks because that's a different thing, but we are Kingdom Hearts perverts 100%.
Most of our DMs, a shout out to @KHFrames on Twitter. Most of our DMs nowadays are just us sending Kingdom Hearts screenshots from that account back and forth.
Riku's got bugs outside of him now, too.
It's a good bug distribution. I think we have a great Mortified marketing minute for us this week.
Yes, so I was like, all right, Leyla, if we're going to pitch our own new sports animes, how do we do that?
So this took some thinking from me because ice skating is already done. Yuri on Ice. I'm not gonna make anything better than Yuri on Ice. There is a hyperlocal attraction here in Western New York called Can Jam, and Can Jam is a frisbee-based sport where you have a kind of cylinder with it's open-ended on top and bottom, and a slot in the cylinder. And your goal with your team member is to throw the frisbee, and your team member slaps the frisbee into the open top of the cylinder. But if you want extra points, you get it in the slot.
Oh, so this is like frolfing, but with alley-oops. Okay.
And then today, in researching this concept, I found out about Jam Illuminate, which is glow-in-the-dark Jam.
Of course, yeah. For all your raving needs.
For all your raving needs. So I think I would do a Frisbee-based anime.
Oh my god.
I think it's time we had an all-girls team. I just want a bunch of little girl perverts playing Frisbee in a park in Western New York.
This would rule. I'm looking at a like neon blue, essentially garbage can. That is as Leyla described. The Frisbee is Slimer green. It's incredible. This is wild. Yeah. That would be a good anime, I think. And you're right. I think we do need more women in sports animes. I know that we watch a lot of shonen here, but like, you know, you can do a shonen with girls. I think that girls should be in shonen. I think girls should be protagonists of shonen anime.
Well, let's be careful before we curl that monkey's paw.
Yeah, hold on. Wait. We talked a lot about perverts. Not that way. We gotta be so careful.
I've had enough Sakuras and Koreans to last me a lifetime.
I want them to be good characters. Gotta specify. They should be good characters.
More Mikis. More Mikis.
Yes.
More Mikis.
My pitch is Alai because I think it's very cool to have just a ball that you sling with a big sling. And I think it would be very fun if we had a bunch of disabled people playing Alai. Because I think that anime does not often have disability representation, and I think it would be very cool if not only they had a disabled league, but everybody had very cool specific sports prosthetics. I want people with like fucking mechanized Alai they can just like screw onto their arm. I think that'd be dope as hell.
Oh my god, can I pitch you something?
Okay.
So I'm looking at pictures of this sport. At first, when you said it, I thought lacrosse, but no. It's not like a lacrosse stick, it's like a big old wooden
No, it's a scythe, yeah.
Consider. You know what it reminds me of immediately when I look at it? T-Rex claw.
Oh no.
What if? Highlight, but in a world where we have dinosaurs.
Ah, yes, perfect.
I don't know how we're gonna do it, but it just looks like a T-Rex claw.
Maybe it's an isekai. Maybe it's an isekai where one human gets teleported into a world full of Alai playing dinosaurs, and that's how he becomes that's his entry point. He's like, well, I don't understand your strange dinosaur Flintstones-ass society, but I do understand the highs and lows of Alai.
I'm going to... Oh my god. You haven't known the triumphs and defeats, the epic highs and lows of prehistoric Alai. Mm-hmm. I'm going to drop a picture in the chat, in our Discord chat.
My Christ.
That is insane.
That is a mime. That is a mime playing Alai. It's just a person wearing a beret, but they might as well be a mime.
It's quite French. It's bizarre, and I don't know what to make of it.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, this part will have to be edited out because per last episode, we can no longer bring up mimes on Mortified the Friendship Quest.
I also think you could do a steampunk Alai anime and just throw that out there.
That would be interesting. I'd love to see a bunch of fucking Victorian orphans playing Alai. That would be great.
Wow, because you said prosthetics, right? Like, what if they what if they were steam powered? I'm just saying.
Yeah, no. Why not both?
Why not? Por qué no los dos? Well, great. Aaron, do you have anything else to say about anything that we've talked about today?
I don't think so, except for that sports animes are good.
They are good, actually.
Leyla, when we are not learning about the epic highs and lows of sports anime, where can people find us on the internet?
You can find me at LEYLSCS on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram, where I'm just vibing for the most part because the world is on fire and I'm too tired to make creative content. Yay! Aaron, what about you? You
can find me on Twitter at AaronXXL, where I tweet about tabletop RPGs, health policy, and writing. Just released an essay on The Bird King, on Kaike and the end of the world, and how those books and American politics all feel like the end of the world. If you are interested in that, read that at aavoigt.com. I'm doing another podcast at the Bible Boys, where me and my ex-evangelical friends Josh and Michael talk about Christian media and either praise or condemn it. We have a very special episode coming up with a very special guest, where we will be playing The Adventurer's Guide to the Bible, 5th edition. That'll be something, so check that out in a couple weeks.
You will actually soon be able to find me and Marty, whose voice you heard last week, on our Inuyasha rewatch podcast.
Yes!
So be ready for that when it drops.
The podcast empire expands! Yes, finally. I'm so excited for that. Finally, I won't have to watch Inuyasha to experience it. My ideal way to understand the story.
Between our podcast, Naruto Review 2, and Jeff's Bizarre Adventure, we can have all the popular animes covered and no one has to watch any of them.
Excellent, excellent. Our theme song is Obsolete by Keshko from the album Filmmakers Reference Kit Volume 2. You can find more of their music at keshko.bandcamp.com. And real quick before we sign off, I do just want to say congratulations to one of our favorite listeners, Max, who is getting married this weekend. Happy marriage to you, Max.
Happy marriage to you, Max. Congratulations.
Max was telling me about how he was trying to pitch our podcast to some of my former cross-country teammates, and I was like, I'm a little embarrassed, but thank you so much, Max. I respect you fucking fighting the good cause for us.
Yeah, all of you fuckers should be doing that for us.
Yeah, exactly right. When Max gets to be a special guest on one of our upcoming episodes at some point, you will see the benefits of being a shill for Mortified. But as this podcast draws to a close, what do we want to leave our esteemed listeners with?
Oh, I don't know, you douche.
We'll see you all next week. Oh, Christ.